Hey everybody, it's St. Paul Peterson here, and welcome to episode 10 of Music on the Run. This week's guest is Lenny Castro. And Lenny is the percussionist for Toto. He's been with them since the very beginning, and he has played with everybody on the planet. Before we get to the interview, I just want to say I hope you're safe. I hope you're healthy during this incredibly strange time in our lives. My wife and I are hunkered down. I'm in the studio. There's nobody else here. I've got my handy-dandy Clorox wipes that I'm wiping everything down with. But in all seriousness, I really hope that you're doing okay. And thank you for tuning in to Music on the Run. Check out this interview with Lenny Castro. Check it out.
Before we get started here, do me a favor. Wherever you got this podcast, make sure you subscribe, give us a rating, and if you have time and you like what you're hearing, make sure you write a review. It really helps us get the word out so we can have a lot more people coming to the party. Hey everybody, St. Paul Peterson here, and welcome to another special edition of Music on the Run. Live from the National Association of Music Merchants, better known to us as NAMM, in front of a live audience. Let me hear you out there. See, I told you. We're so glad to be here. We're in Orange County, actually, at the Anaheim Convention Center. This is, I think, the largest music convention. Am I right about that? It's got to be the largest music convention of the year. I don't know how many people are here, 100,000. So it's crazy. It's a large amount of people, and we're sitting in this beautiful, beautiful space that Electro Voice has provided for us. So we're glad to be here. They're a great Minneapolis company. We use their RE20 mics on every single podcast that you've been hearing, and we're honored to be here. And so we're going to get right to it. My guest today has toured with so many different people. I'm not going to go through the list because I'd be up here and he wouldn't be out here for another 20 minutes. But let me just drop a couple names. Fleetwood Mac, Joe Bonamassa, David Sanborn, Melissa Manchester, Joe Sample, and of course, he's a touring member of the incredible band Toto. He's one of the most recorded percussionists in pop history. He loves what he does, and he's just all about the groove. Please welcome my buddy Lenny Castro.
Hello, baby. Is it me here? You want a boost?
Lena!
Hello, darling.
There you go. You better eat that.
That's a nice little ditty you got going on.
You like that ditty?
It's very funky.
Well, thank you. I tried to do my best, man, but you don't. What's missing from there?
You. Me. More cowbell.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, thanks for making the time to come by here at NAMM. I know
you,
how
Paul? Anything,
crazy.
bro. Anything.
Yeah, it's fun to
Come
see
on.
you again. Now, we had tried to do this while you're on the 40 trips around the sun. You and Luke were going to stop by,
Yeah.
but it was too crazy.
Being on the road, man, it's a tough schedule. It just, you try to fit little things in, or people start showing up, and it's just, you start realizing, I've got one day off. What am I doing?
Yeah, you start
You know?
scheduling things. I mean, I would have loved to have seen you, but when you said, man, we're tired, I'm like, stay home. We'll find another time to do this. But that's an important part. And that's really what this podcast is all about. Of course, I'm gonna talk about music with you because we can't hip it.
Yes.
But we want to really focus on, how you survive and balance your life while you're on the road, because that's what you've been a road dog for how many years?
Oh, over 40 years.
Is that right?
Over 40 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I think I started with Melissa like in 75.
No kidding.
Yeah, that's when I first started going on the road. Actually, I did one thing when I was with the Latin. When I was about 14 years old, I was running with a Latin band. This guy named Johnny Colon, who was a trombone player turned keyboard player. So,
All right.
So
Where's this, in New York?
In New York.
Okay.
Yeah, New York, where I'm from. And so I did. I was working with him, and I took a trip. We took a trip to Chicago.
Okay.
That was my first road trip, Stayed at the Lincoln Arms Hotel, which is
And you're
it's still there.
15 years old, 14 years
I
old?
was about 14, 15.
And
Yeah.
your
Played the
parents let you do
Aragon.
that. They're like, please,
leave.
No, there was no way that they could stop me, to tell you the truth. I was gone.
Yeah, that you were ready.
Well, I started doing the gigs and I started making my own money, so that was it. I mean, I was my own man, pretty much, and I did that purposefully to help my parents out. I told them, don't spend any money on me. I'm making my own bread now. Help my sisters out. Blah blah blah. I'm good. I bought my own glasses, my own underwear. I bought.
From the time you were a little kid.
Yeah, we weren't very well to do, so I had to do my share.
That's incredible, man.
Well, that's what you got to do.
So let's take me back to your family and what was going on in the house. Are you listening to music? What kind of music is coming in via LPs and that?
My parents had the greatest vinyl collection known to man. That was a heavy part of my education before I started going to music school. I started actually studying when I was 3, 4, 5, and plus Looney Tunes. That's it. I mean, I knew about the Blue Danube before I even knew what the hell Blue Danube was.
Because you were watching
Warner
Brothers.
I was singing it, and I was like, yeah, but that's Bugs Bunny. He's, no, it's not.
Wow.
But I knew what it was, But they had an incredible vinyl collection. I mean, Art Blakey, Miles Davis. Bebop, Cal Jada, Latin, plus, Tito Puente, Pete Rodriguez.
Okay.
All those guys. And I pretty much grew up with those guys. Because, my biological father was a keyboard player in the Latin circuit for a long time.
Is that right?
Yeah, my real dad. Yeah.
Okay, but your stepdad is the one who came in and kind of encouraged you and got you.
Well, he was the one that he raised me.
Okay.
Because my mom and my dad separated when I was very, very young. But my stepdad, God bless him, he taught me how to be a Mets fan.
How has that been so far?
Nice weather we're having, ain't it? No, I love my Mets. You kidding me? No, and he taught me how to be a man, what it was to make money, and how to do my shit right. He was.
Tell me your stepdad's name.
Georgie
Okay.
Cordero.
All right.
Yeah, he was a GI. He was stationed in Japan when he was younger.
Really?
Yeah. When he got older, that's all. Because I go to Japan all the time now. Japan's like my second home, and I speak Japanese, and my wife is Japanese.
Oh, okay.
So when my dad was alive, every time I'd go home, he says, I was in Japan, and I did. Yeah, Dad. I know, but I love you. Come on, let's go have some steamed clams down at the pier.
Was he musical?
No, he
wasn't.
He was a spaz. God bless him. I would be sitting in front of the radio listening to Dick Ricardo Sugar or Symphony Sid, the radio shows, and I'd sit there with my bongos and play to anything that came on.
Where did you get your bongos? So like when you were a tiny kid?
My dad bought me a set of bongos. They also bought me a little conga. Because what happened was my sisters used to turn them upside down and pee in them. They used to think they were piss pots.
Thank you.
But anyway, and my sisters hate that story.
Oh, yeah, we're going to get them good for that one.
Oh,
That's how I'm going to lead the advertising for this podcast.
So
Sister Peas and Bongo, next on Music on the Run.
Pea and bongos. So my dad, every now and then, he'd say, let me give it a try. And so I'd give him the bongos, and then it'd be like, no, Dad, you know what? And then he'd realize, boy, he was totally off. I said, well, you do it much better, so I like watching you do it.
So, but he instilled something differently in you, and it wasn't necessarily musicality, but what was that you got from him and the way he led his life?
Man, just to go for what you want and don't say no.
Really?
That's it. That was it. It was like, you want that? Go get it. And he told me, before I left the house, he told me, there's no room for second best in this family. Ooh. Before I left. And never root for the Yankees.
Those two things, huh?
I'm telling you.
I can go with that. I'm a Twins fan, so we don't like the Yankees.
Oh, my God. He never forgave the Yankees for, the Dodgers. It was the Dodgers, he said.
Oh, Brooklyn Dodgers?
Don't root for the Yankees or the Dodgers.
Oh, okay.
Because I moved to L.A., and he was like, don't root for
You still can't vote. You can't root for them.
No.
Oh. So you were encouraged to play and go out and be your own man, and you were playing. Yeah. You said on tour at age 14, Eddie Palmieri. And,
I did a little bit with Eddie.
Okay.
Yeah, I subbed for Milton Cardona a couple of times. At the Cheetah, and I got to hang out with all those guys, Eddie Gomez and Andy Gomez and his brother Jerry. Gonzalez, the Gonzalez brothers. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Andy and Jerry Gonzalez. Incredible musicians, plus Nicky Marrero, Mario Rivera, all these incredible musicians I started to hang out with.
So you play Latin music, but you play way more genres than just that. I mean, what was being played in your house was not only Latin music, but it was
A lot.
bebop.
Well,
it was
not only the vinyl collection, it was the radio also.
Okay.
I listened to the radio was incredible in those days.
right.
There were great stations. There was great music. Like I just mentioned, 2 shows that were on the weekends. Dick Ricardo Sugar, the famous DJ, and Symphony Sid. They both had shows on the weekends, and that was a very special thing. I mean, my parents would get their rum and cokes, and I'd get my bongos, and the whole neighborhood would be listening to the station. Yeah.
Okay.
And so the neighbor, especially summertime, windows would be open, people would be on the fire escapes, people dancing in the streets, and I'd be on my bongos. You know? It was cool, though. I mean, it was just so much fun. So I listened to the radio a lot. I got into the pop thing. My mother was also into really old-style country western, believe it or not.
Really?
So I got to really appreciate that
No
at a very
kidding.
early age. Yeah.
Oh man, that's great to have this. It's like a melting pot of genres in your house.
And then I did the classical thing. You know, I went to all borough band and orchestra, and all high school borough.
Who's Mr. Rosenthal?
Oh,
Come on.
Mr. Rosenthal.
Tell these
He
guys
was-
tell them about
Mr.
Mr.
Rosenthal was a conductor that I had at the Manhattan Borough-wide Orchestra.
Okay.
And he was amazing. He could throw a pen from the podium and hit the trumpet player right in the chest. I actually saw him do that because the guy was just not paying attention.
Right.
You know, and that's the one thing I really learned from classical music was discipline. You know, incredible discipline. And this guy was jerking around, and Mr. Rosenthal was like, I ain't having that.
Really?
Yeah. But he was an amazing guy. He was inspirational. Kids loved him.
So he helped mold you for those.
Oh yeah, him
Okay.
and another gentleman by the name of Mr. Just, Robert Just, who was my junior high school music teacher, who actually helped me buy my first drum set through the school so I could get a 50% discount.
Have you ever gone back, or did you back in the day ever go back to your teachers and say hello and invite them to concerts?
I'm still in touch with Mr. Just.
Are you?
Yeah, he's down in Florida.
How great is that?
He's very proud of me, you know, and he's.
That he is, man.
Yeah. A few of my teachers, like I had another teacher named William Fisher, arranger. He used to work with McCoy Tyner. He was, oh man, that guy, he was amazing. He was my composition teacher. I had some incredible teachers, you know, really wonderful, wonderful people.
But you also worked at the drum shop. Tell me a little bit about the drum shop. And this is all in New York City, right?
Right, all in New York. It was Frank Hippolito's professional drum shop that was on 50th and 8th Avenue,
Okay.
above a hardware store.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
All right.
and it was 3 stories. You know, you had the entrance was on the 2nd floor, and there were 2 other stories up top that had equipment and areas where people could give lessons. And Elvin Jones used to give lessons up there.
Elvin Jones?
Oh, I used to hang out with Elvin. I used to hang out. I used to go get Papa Joe Jones his Hennessy at 10 o'clock in the morning, because he would hang out at the drum shop. Papa Joe was beautiful, man. I heard so many great stories from him.
For those of you who don't know who these people are who are listening while they're on the run or whatever, go check these names out. These are the names that all of us jazz musicians just idolize.
Papa Joe was, you know, he was the shit, man. And that guy, but the thing was that he always, anything that was great that was done in the past, he said, oh, that was me. No, man, Papa Joe, no. Because Jim Chapin would always bust his chops.
Oh,
One time I was present to a conversation between Chapin and Papa Joe Jones arguing about who turned the low boy into a hi-hat. Because the original hi-hat used to be about this high, and it was just a timekeeper.
and
And
for
then
those
they extended-
non-musicians, we're talking about 2 cymbals that basically
Yeah, the hi-hat.
clasp together. So
Right. So I would sit there and listen to them. You know, we'd be drinking Heinekens and eating chips at the end. You know, close up shop.
Yeah.
And I listened to this conversation, man. It was just amazing. Eventually, I think they came up with an idea that Babe Dodds was the guy who extended the shaft.
Sure.
But it could have, yes or no.
these
I
are
don't know.
stories and folklore, man.
But man, that was, I mean, hanging in that shop was the best education I ever got. I really learned how to make drums because they also were a workshop. If you know any drummers here, we got drummers, no drummers, drums.
We
You
got
know
one.
about DW, the DW pedal with the sprocket? That's where it started at Frank Hippolito's. They would take the Camco pedals and they would convert them. A guy named Al Duffy and another cat. And they used to do all kinds of custom work. They made a custom set for John Bonham the first time he played in Radio City. Madison Square Garden. They taught me how to tuck conga heads, but that was a big mistake because then after that, I had to tuck every head that came in. I'll tell Lenny, you got 3 heads to tuck. And if you've ever tucked a conga head, it's a pain in the ass, let me tell you. It's what you call a knuckle buster.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
What did you take away from those old-timers there at the drum shop? What were they trying to tell you? I mean, what was their advice to you?
Dedication, man. If you want to do it, you have to put everything down and just do that.
Well, were they also talking to you about things other than playing? Were they talking about how you hold yourself and how you
Oh yeah, oh most
you
definitely.
act and
Oh
how you
definitely.
dress
Well,
and
that
all.
was something, not that much.
Okay.
But I got that from watching them,
Oh,
from
I
going
see.
down to the clubs, and digging Miles Davis the way he was always clean and all the cats, they had a thing, they had a thing. And then later on, when I started doing recording sessions, then I started learning how to, you had to be diplomatic, you had to really carry yourself with confidence, walk in and take care of business,
Well, and we'll talk about this later. I mean, that's a big deal in getting the gig and keeping the gig.
Well, that's where the hard part comes in. Getting
true,
the gig is one thing,
Yeah.
It's just like a lot of these young acts that come up, Star is Born or these new television shows. These poor kids get thrown into this, the winners. It's like, okay, you're a winner, you got everything, but they don't have any learning process. So
They get thrown to the wolves and they have to make it up as they go along,
And
which
it's-
is a learning experience in itself, I would suppose.
but it's the people that don't win, the second, third, those are the ones that really watch and learn and go, oh, okay, I see what's going on. And they are not inundated with all kinds of, here, you won this, or the producer wants you to do that. And, their learning process is extended,
True.
you know.
So tell me how a guy from New York City gets to California. Besides the airplane.
Melissa Manchester was the one who brought me out to L.A. She,
How'd she find you?
well, I was working at the drum shop.
Okay.
And the guys who worked at the drum shop were always telling me, the older cats, they would say, man, you got to get out of here. You can't stay here. Don't get stuck here like we are, okay? You got to get the hell out. So one day, one of the guys got a phone call from Melissa, and they were looking for a percussionist to sing. So one of the guys, I forget it was Ed Gallivan or Stanaka-san, one of the guys gave me the number and said, here, call this number. It's an audition. If you don't make it, you can't come back and work here. And Frank
That's motivation right there.
Frank Hippolito was in the back going, yeah, that's right. That's right. Get the fuck out. We love you, but get the fuck out. We love you. So that was how, I went down and I was so nervous about the gig, and I got there an hour early before everybody did.
That's beautiful.
And I made the audition out of 8. I think there was 18 other percussionists who
Dang.
auditioned, and I was the one that got the gig.
How old are you at this point?
19.
19. And,
Yeah,
and
I was still wearing my high school jacket. It was like, music and art.
So you moved. It was like, okay, here's the details of the gig.
Yeah.
You got to move to LA.
Well, first, what happened was I did a few tours with her. We stayed in
Oh,
New
okay.
York, I started making some nice money, man. For a kid at 19,
Yeah.
I'm like, wow,
I can
man.
relate to
And
that.
traveling on a
Yeah.
bus, man, it's crazy.
Right?
Insane.
Did you have any idea what you were getting yourself
I
into?
really didn't. I
Okay.
really had no idea.
You learned quick, man, I bet.
So after a couple of tours, her and her husband decided to move to L.A. And I went to the bass player's apartment one day, and he's packing all his stuff, and I'm going, Cooker, what happened? He says, oh, Melissa's looking for you. Go to her apartment right now. She wants to talk to you. So I go from the east side, run across Central Park to the west side to go to Missy's apartment. And I'm out of, what happened? She says, I'm moving to L.A. You want to come?
That was it.
That was it.
And your answer was?
I
of
ran,
course,
well, I said yes, of course. And
Yeah.
I ran home and said, Mom, Dad, guess what? I'm out of here.
Bye-bye.
Of course, Mom,
Oh, yeah.
and Dad's in this, that's right, okay. You good. Go ahead.
So you get to LA, man, and you're a new kid in LA. You have no idea have you ever been there before?
No.
Okay, so this is
like
all
we
new.
said earlier, I had no idea what I
Okay.
was. I had no idea where I was going. It was not a plan.
But you had, I mean, you had a great gig. That's the difference, right?
Yeah.
You get to L.A. and you show up with a gig.
She had a hit, and Clive Davis. That was Clive Davis's baby, and he took care of her. And I was dropped right in a great situation, because when we came to L.A., she introduced me to a whole bunch of other people.
Such as?
Hey, everybody, let's take a quick break because I want to talk to you about a couple different things. First of all, go over to patreon.com/Music on the Run podcast. That again is www.patreon.com/Music on the Run podcast. And that is where you can partner with us and financially support all the good things we're doing here on Music on the Run. Of course, there's a lot of incentives for you as well. Number one, you get a lot of behind the scenes footage, pictures, and maybe even some merch. I'm sure you can understand it takes a lot to put on these podcasts, and we love doing them, but it always costs money, and we would love to partner with you. So go over to patreon.com/Music on the Run podcast, and we'd love to have you as our partner. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about is the company Electro Voice. Electro Voice is a company based here in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and they specialize in PA speakers and, of course, microphones. They've taken good care of us for many, many years. Prior to me starting Music on the Run podcast, I've endorsed them for a very long time. And I'm actually speaking into one of their mics right now that is a staple in the radio business called an RE320. What's funny is that I actually use this mic a lot on hi-hats and bass cabinets, and it's so versatile. And it's just one of the many, many super high-quality professional microphones that Electro Voice has to offer. Go check them out. You can find them at your favorite music store or just go online at electrovoice.com. Hey, let's get back to that conversation on Music on the Run.
Such as?
Richard Perry, Armin
producer,
Steiner.
Richard Perry.
Yeah, Armin Steiner, another producer engineer. What's his name?
Schnee.
Schnee, yeah.
Yeah.
Schnee. So I got to meet a bunch of people.
So did they all of a sudden start calling you? They're like,
Yeah.
hire the kid.
Yep, that's what happened. Because we also were playing at the Troubadour and other places in LA, so people got to see me.
Okay.
And in those days, word of mouth was really quick. One producer would tell another producer.
They just put it on
that.
Facebook, yeah.
Oh, sure, yeah. Has it been around that long?
I don't know. It feels like it.
Hey, Jesus. Hey,
So
hey.
okay, so you get to this gig and you're. Tell me about Miss Ross. I want to hear about that session because I think that's a big one.
The recording session?
Well,
Because
the
I also
whole-
went on the road with her too.
Oh, did you?
And it was not fun.
Well, let's start with the session first.
The session was okay. I mean, she would never really show up. She actually had a girl that sounded like her that would come and sing the songs for her. And then we'd call her up on the phone going, with the phone next to the piano. Richard Perry would have the phone next to the piano going, beep, 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 beep. Is this too high for you, Diana? And I'm looking around going, ain't this some shit?
Wow.
How weird is that? But, we did it. We played anyway. We did the songs. I think we did the Baby It's Me album. That's where I met Jeff Porcaro.
Wow.
The Baby It's Me album. Yeah.
So you meet Jeff. Was that
Jeff
an
Porcaro.
instantaneous?
Oh, yeah. It was
Kinship or-
as soon as
I
we,
mean,
it was
not
one of those, I know you from another lifetime. We knew each other. We had just met.
Right.
And we looked at each other and said, man, and plus we had just finished playing and we locked like crazy.
Yeah.
And we enjoyed each other, man. And he was like, bro, he came to me and Lucas and says, you guys want a gig?
Was Luke on the session too?
Yeah, he was on it too. He was a little, me and him go back too, me and my
Okay.
bro Luke. He was 18, I was 19. And Jeff got us on the Boss Gags gig. That's how we got on
Silk
there.
Degrees record?
Right after it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was the biggest
smoking.
record of that
Man.
time.
Yeah, he had a private plane on tour. We had a 4-engine Viscount, Rolls-Royce engine Viscount.
It sounds like you're a airplane enthusiast as well.
A little bit, just a little
Well, I'm
bit.
a pilot. I can get into that. I love that stuff. Yeah. Wow. Okay, so here you are, a kid in your early 20s, a private plane, playing with the hottest artist, with Jeff Porcaro, Steve Lukather.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the beginnings of Toto?
Yes,
Okay.
pretty much. Yeah, because we were Boskag's backup band before they decided to do that, and then David Page started writing some other stuff.
But you
and
were,
they
you
started
were on
rehearsing.
all the sessions.
Yeah, I was right
Yeah, I
there.
mean, that group
Jeff wanted me everywhere.
Well, how
Jeff-
great is that?
Jeff called me up. I mean, he'd be like, "What you doing?" I said, "Well, I'm getting ready to have dinner." "No, you're not. Get in the car, bring a tambourine and a shaker, come down to the studio now."
Really?
I'm going, "What?" Click.
Yeah.
And
that
I'd have
was
to go.
it?
Yeah, and I'd be on the session.
So he'd have you on everything. So you were part of the brotherhood at that point.
Yeah, me and him just locked.
And
Ridiculous.
his pops was a big
Joe, yeah.
musician.
Oh man, one of the leading percussionists in L.A. God bless
Right.
him. Yeah.
Was he a mentor to you as well, or was that kind of a different?
Yes, he became
deal?
my West Coast dad.
Is that right? Okay.
Yeah, the Picaro family took me under their wing. Him and Aileen, just they would invite me to their Sunday, Italian dinners and stuff, which was so good. Oh God.
That's unbelievable.
Ooh, and so I became a part of the family, man. At 19, and we're still good friends. I miss Jeff and I miss Mike.
Yeah.
A lot, but that's the way things are.
What a beautiful ride it's been for you. How many years have you been in the touring version of Toto in total?
Since the
today?
very beginning.
9?
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
But so,
yeah. But I didn't. A couple of other guys like Chris Trujillo and Luis Conte did some of the tours because I got busy with Stevie Wonder and some other people, and I had to. Huh? What?
I don't know.
Stevie Wonder?
Yeah, no.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
So you weren't necessarily in the actual.
No, I
band.
was
You
not
were-
assigned. I was not
Okay.
a signed partner. I was not a signed member.
But so that's a different. That's a different kind of a thing for you, be acting as a sideman, but you were still in the brotherhood.
Mm-hmm.
Was that a positive move for you? Do you think? Do you
Well, at first, I got really bugged about it.
Okay.
And I actually went through some depression about it,
No
especially
kidding.
on the road, they'd go out and do signings, and I'd be in the hotel all by myself,
Got
whatever, and they'd get taken to dinners by the record company, and I wouldn't be invited, and other things like that. So it kind of took a little bit of toll on me mentally. But then one day after I came back from a Stevie Wonder tour, I went to Jeff's house, and I was like raving. I said, "Man, I was out with Stevie, man. I played all my favorite songs."
Yeah.
And Jeff just looked at me and said, "Yeah, who cares?"
Why is that?
Well, he looked at me and he says, "You know what? I can't do what you do. I'm chained down to record companies and managers. I can't fly around and do shit freely like you do."
So you had the freedom to do that. No, for those
So-
people who aren't in the music business
Right.
who are listening, when you get signed to a record deal, you have to get permission to do all these other.
Well, there's a whole
projects.
chain of command that you
Yeah.
have to go through. Can I do? You have the record companies, managers. Whoever else is involved.
Yeah, you literally and lawyers, and the whole bit.
Not
So-
to mention, yeah.
So, but you had the freedom, and at that point, did you start
Yeah.
to change your mind about it?
Then I started realizing, you know what? Jeff's trying to tell me that I'm in a good place.
Yeah, because
Because I didn't anything that happened to the band, either bad or good, would happen to me too.
well, exactly. There was
So I was kind of exempt from that, since I wasn't a member.
Isn't that interesting how things work
And
out?
I went out with a lot of. I went out when they weren't working. I was gone.
Like who'd you get to play with? Tell us a few names because
Oh.
you've played with everybody. You got to give us some idea
I
here.
don't,
Okay, let me give you an idea.
So,
How about Fleetwood Mac? How was that?
yeah, that was great. That was fun. I did the dance tour with them, which turned into a DVD, which was really nice. Mick Fleetwood is a special kind of guy. Let me tell you,
He's large.
he's so funny, man.
He is funny.
I used to have to. It was basically babysitting him on stage. He'd
What?
forget his own beat.
Yeah.
And then I'd be on the congas and he'd be looking at me, deer in the headlights. And then I'd go, pogo, pogo, tuko, brat. And then he'd go, "Thank you." I love Mick, but he's not one of, he's not a Dave Weckl. He's not one of those, extremely well-educated drummer type guys, but he's a natural guy. He's a guy that
Boy,
just
see-
has a natural groove that he does, and that's what he does.
You want to know what's really funny about that is that
I have my own band called St. Paul and the Minneapolis
Yeah.
Funk All-Stars, and we were coming back from a tour in Australia, and we stopped in Maui, and we played Mick's club.
Did you play his club?
And we played his club, but we had two drummers, Mick and my buddy Joey Finger.
Oh, Joey, yeah.
And Joey,
I
so
love Joey.
it was fan-friggin-tastic.
Hi,
It
Joey
was-
Fingers.
Yeah, Joe, you missed him. He was here two days ago at
Oh.
NAMM. But it was fantastic because Mick was doing Mick. And Joey was doing Joey. And it was funky, man. So it was really fun. Ricky was on that gig as well. Just because of time constraints, I want to bring up
go ahead.
another guy who I know is like your brother or was like your brother, and that is Joe Sample.
Oh,
Talk to me a little bit about
Pee-wee.
your relationship with Joe. And
My relationship with him was unbelievable. I mean, it transcended anything normal. I mean, musically, the whole thing. I mean, we were boom coon buddies. We loved food together. We loved to. We had a lot of great. We ate. I think me and him. I wrote a song about him, on my CD. It's called "Ain't That Some Shit," and there's a story in there. One verse is a story about me and him, the first time we ate fugu, which is blowfish, which is poisonous.
right.
And me and Joe, we were in Fukuoka, and he says, "Hey man, you want to go check some shit out?" I said, "What? Let's go. Let's go. Come on." So he takes me to this place. I said, "Oh, okay, we're gonna have some sushi." "No, man, it's that blowfish thing. You could die from it. You want to have some?" "Yeah, sure. Come on,
Yeah.
let's go."
Yeah,
You
let's
know?
rally.
It was fantastic. It was amazing.
No
it
kidding.
really was delicious. And we ate live fish. You know, right out of the pool, and it's still, mouth is still shaking and jumping off the plate.
Oh, man.
Sorry, I hope I didn't freak anybody out. But me and Pee-wee, we were drinking buddies before we became musical buddies.
Where at?
We were at the Baked Potato.
Oh.
We'd get to the Baked Potato. I'd be coming from a gig, and he'd be coming from a gig, and we'd sit at the bar going, "I can't believe the session I just had to do, man." And he'd go, "Yeah, man, this producer had me doing some crazy shit." And then we'd sit there and kvetch about, the craziness that we had to deal with. And then one day, Joe, we're sitting at the bar, and Joe said, "Hey, man, you play percussion, don't you?" I said, "Pee-wee, yeah, man, what's wrong with you?" "Hey, man, come to rehearsal, man. The Crusaders need your ass. Come on down to rehearsal."
Oh, that's. So you joined the Crusaders at that point?
Yeah, I played with the Crusaders for a minute, and then they kind of disbanded, and then
Right.
Joe did his solo thing, and oh my God, I miss him so much, man. That guy, he gave me the opportunity to really explore myself.
Yeah.
He told me one day, he says, "Man, we got to do a trio, man. You got to come up with a setup that's not like a drum set."
What'd you do?
I came up with it took me about a week
Okay.
to think of it. And he wanted to do a trio, just piano, bass, and me on drums, percussion. So I came up with this setup that was completely 360. Half was set and half was percussion. And I would do combinations. It was kind of, you could say that it was kind of like the beginning of the hybrid time. I might have been a proponent in it, maybe.
Of course you
but
were. Of
it,
course
it,
you
it
were,
was
man.
unbeknownst to me, Joe just wanted something different. He just wanted to be able to play his chords without having other guys and give their interpretations of his chords,
Right.
He was very picky about that, but it was Joe Sample, for crying out loud. You get that shit. Hey, play that shit right.
Right.
But we'd spend Christmases together. We went to Japan many times together. I watched him raise his boy. We spent a lot of time together. I
Two
miss
peas
him
in
a
a
lot.
pod, musically and brotherhood.
Oh my God, it was some funny shit, man.
Well, we miss him. I got to play on one of his records, so we share that together.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's right.
We played together separately.
Yeah.
And we've done that recently, too. So I want to get to, before we run out of time here, the podcast is called Music on the Run, and I want to ask you about your routine on the road. Because I already know, because you and I did a tour together in Japan with Clementine, right? That
Yeah,
French
Clementine.
artist.
Yeah, the French girl.
So what's your routine? Do you get off the bus or whatever? Do you go to the gym? What's your
Yeah, I do try to go to the gym and do like half-hour, 45-minute workouts, maybe 3 or 4 times a week if possible. Walking is good. But the thing is, what I do on stage is like a 2-hour aerobics.
For sure.
But so the thing is not to overdo the exercise, but to keep yourself limber and not to overeat.
Aha.
not to overeat.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about that because you're on a tour bus, right?
Oh.
The gig is done. What's the
One
first
word.
thing they bring on from catering?
One word,
Pizza.
gummies.
Uh-oh. Is that right? Do expand, man.
Gummies. And the pizza, too. We call it bus lobster.
Bus lobster. As well you should. Because
That's like a road terminology for the after show pizza, which was usually some really like
lame.
a piece of cardboard with a
Terrible.
little bit of cheese on it. You know?
Right. But
Unless you were in New York, you got great pizza. So.
So do you eat that, or we do not? Or you do you not eat that?
No, you fix your shoe with it. Jeez, but that's another thing that used to be really difficult was eating properly on the road. Now it's a lot better. It's a lot more restaurants are a lot more conscious. So there's vegan, there's vegetarian. There's a lot more ramen restaurants too. I'm a ramen freak.
You're a freak. Well,
I'll slurp a noodle so fucking quick. Oh man, I love ramen. I go to Japan and I lose my mind. There are literally thousands of ramen places, and none two are the same.
you took me there. I mean, I was.
Did I take you to one?
You took me to the outside ones that are in the
the
makeshift
yatai.
tents.
Yeah, the yatai. Oh, those.
Lenny led me around like I was 5 years old on our tour to Japan because I didn't know.
I did that a lot with a lot of people.
You took good care of me, especially this is back in my drinking days. I'm going to tell this story now, but he sat me down and he was showing me the culture, and in that culture, if you're having sake and you finish your glass, what do? They fill it up, and I like hot liquid. I drink a ton of coffee, so I was into this, and I was getting. It felt good, and I was kept drinking it and kept filling it up. And by the time I went like this, and you have to get the video podcast to be able to see this now. So I got up and went, whoa.
Face first.
So I face planted, and Lenny
Nose
had to
first.
like hobble me all the way home. He's like, "Come on, you drunk." So
I've carried quite a few of my buddies.
have you?
Yeah.
That's okay. So we can blame you.
No, you can't blame me.
No, I'm thinking that you're the hero, but I actually think you're the instigator. Is what I think. Yeah.
I've had guys, come on tour with me and say, "Hey, man, we heard about you, but you're drinking, man. I want to drink with you." I said, "No, you don't want to do that."
No, you
No, I
don't.
want to go drinking. No, you don't want to do it. Next thing you know, ooh.
So tell me about look, my brother Billy always said to me when we were on the road with Steve
Oh,
Miller,
Billy.
he'd said, if you're going to play, you got to pay. So he would make me go run the steps at what's the venue in Colorado? Red Rocks.
Red Rocks,
Oy.
yeah.
So that was my punishment
Love
if I
that
was
kid.
partying the night before. So you try to keep you got to be functioning on all cylinders when you're playing
Yeah.
for 2.5 hours. So
Yeah.
you just blow it out on the gig, or what's the
You
deal?
just sweat it out. You just
Sweat
sweat
it
it
out.
out, man. And have another shot. Hair of the dog.
Hey, and that's how we survive on Music on the Run, by keeping in shape. Hair of the dog, ladies and gentlemen.
We just
Hey,
drink a lot.
different
we just,
strokes for
we
different-
sterilize our internal organs. They're very, very marinated.
Oh.
Yeah.
So have you ever had trouble with your chops? Do you have to do any kind of warm-up, Lenny?
No. I've never had to do any warm-ups, no. But as far as trouble goes, when I was with Joe Bonamassa, I started using the in-ear monitors.
Yeah.
And it wrecked my hands.
How so?
Because, guys always tell me, Mr. Ragsdale. There's a good friend of mine, Scott Ragsdale, who was our front of the house mixer for Joe Bonamassa. How you doing, Scott? Love you, bro. Love you. See, the thing is with in-ear monitors and with percussion is that it cuts off what you're getting directly from it, the air that's coming directly from it. You don't get that. And so you start changing, your body and your hands start changing to compensate for what it's not getting.
Huh.
And my hands were getting tore up, and eventually I had to tell Joe, I can't use these. Plus they were getting sweat in them. I used them for the unplugged thing, the thing that we did in Austria, the Vienna Opera House. Oh God, what a venue! Mozart played here.
Huh.
Oh man, it was amazing. But for that style of music, which was all unplugged, he was playing acoustics, I was playing a whole array of different percussion instruments from all over the world. The in-ears were better for that because it was a lower volume situation, And then it was okay. But man, for playing congas or just for playing my regular thing, it didn't work. And I've had experiences with them for a long time. I mean, when I was with Stevie Wonder in '82, I think they started coming out. There was a guy that used to run with him.
Yeah.
You know, and I hated them, man, because after that, the band, there was nobody talked to anybody. Everybody was, it was like everybody
Closes
was,
you off a little bit.
Yeah, everybody's in a phone booth.
It does.
Everybody's in a phone booth. You go, hey, man, hey. And you know, everybody's not listening to anybody else. And I'm like,
interesting.
I don't know about that.
We are almost out of time.
Oh,
Tell me where we can find you on social media. We want to know what's coming up for you.
I'm on Facebook.
Okay.
You know, I'm on Instagram. I do have a CD out that's available on my website.
What's it called?
It's called Hands of Silk and Stone.
It's killing, which I did my research. It's so good, man.
you.
You're singing on that,
Thank you.
playing on it,
Yeah.
composing everything on that.
Yes.
So what's up for you in 2020?
Right now, you know, Toto's kind of doing a little dormant right now. We're going to take a little break. I'm just doing some sessions in town. I'm working on another CD as we speak.
Good.
I have 6,
as well you should.
I have 6 songs already. I'm not going to do as many. I did 10 on the first CD, so I'm just going to do like 6 on this next situation and not have to kill myself, you know, doing so much. Just whatever comes out, deal with it. So I got 2 blues tunes on it.
Do you?
I'm my first blues tunes.
Right on, man. Are you singing them?
Yeah, you bet. You kidding me?
Lenny's got the blues.
Oh, man. One of them's called It Shouldn't Happen to a Dog.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Shouldn't happen to a dog.
Yeah.
Well, I can't thank you enough for spending time with us
Paul,
here
I
on
love you,
Music on
man.
the- I love you too.
Your family, man. Your Pampilipidle.
Hey, skidly-da-da-da-da. Yeah.
That's
so,
Minneapolis shit.
By the way, to remind everybody, we're sitting at the NAMM show and we're in the Electro Voice booth. The mics that we are using are the RE20s, and Evie and Music on the Run would like to gift you with an RE20 for your appearance on the show today. Yeah, so thank you so much for coming.
Music on the Run was hosted by yours truly, St. Paul Peterson, recorded and produced by Davide Raso, video editing by Ivan Sevastyanov. A very special thanks to the patrons who financially support this podcast. And remember, Toto will have more spins on Africa than the rest of our catalogs combined.